Hey gals, it's Laura Lee again from LL Yoga Online. Hopefully you know by now that I give you gals the best I have, and I really am happy to share with you, but especially today, because you know what, when the going gets tough, the tough get on the ball. I just wanted to show you a few of the balls that we're going to be working with. This little rubber ball has little nubblies on it. I like this texture because it's a little bit denser than the classic tennis ball. If you want to do tennis balls, that's fine. I would suggest one that's a little bit flat, has a little give to it. This is the real superstar though. It's about a 5-inch play ball, and I really like the one by Headstrom. Okay, I think that's even a local brand to us Dothanites. Not sure, but it's the ball you used to play dodgeball with, only smaller. Okay, it's that same texture, it's that same type of rubber, and this baby, just look at this and remember it. Another really great option for us is a soccer ball. So if you don't have a soccer ball, dodgeball is fine too. But I happen to have a lot of soccer balls around, so of course I incorporate them into my ongoing effort to do whatever it takes to make my body work so that I can use it, if you know what I mean. So let me show you a few things we can do with balls. Guaranteed, y'all, all reactions are real. It's nice to have a blanket nearby because then your ball is not going to roll away. So that's how I store my balls. First thing we can do is use a tennis ball underneath the feet. This is if you're really, really hurting, okay? If you're sitting down in a chair and you're rolling out your foot on a tennis ball, you're going to feel a little pressure. It's not going to be that bad. Now, if you size down and you go more dense, especially with those little nubbly textures on the surface, you're going to get a little bit of a more targeted, I don't know, you would think it would hurt more, but I actually like that one better. That's just me personally. So things we can do with the ball, we can roll the length of the foot. We can also go side to side. We can go in circles. And you can also put it right up underneath your toes and just work the toes with that ball. So I think a lot of times we forget about our feet, and we certainly use them heavily. So just taking a little thing like that just to raise circulation in the foot or even ease some discomfort if you're having some problems there. Go easy. If it's too intense, go for the more flat, easier ball, okay? Now, I know you've probably all had somebody tell you to lie down on tennis balls. I am not that person. I think that it's too intense. And I think if it hurts, you're not going to redo it, okay? So let me get these. You know what? This is kind of anathema. I just put shoes on my yoga mat. Don't do it, okay? It's against yoga. Don't do it. Let me get my chair out of the way, and I'm going to come on down to the mat. I'm going to start off on this little beauty right here. You can get these at Toys R Us. A lot of times they're licensed, like this one has SpongeBob. I think I have one with Clifford the Big Red Dog. It doesn't matter. Also, when you buy it, it'll be real flabby and underinflated. Just get you a pin inflator and just bring it up to the tension that you like. If you've really got some severe tightness in your back, you're going to want it to be more, have more give. If you really want to go for the big guns, you can make it a little tighter. Over time, it is going to wear out. It is going to sort of compress into an egg shape. Time to get a new one. Fortunately, they're only about $10. Okay, so we're going to start off. I'm going to show you how to get off of your low back. First, we've got our knees bent and our feet are flat on the ground. I'm going to pick up my seat and put this right in the center of my sacrum. That hard, flat place. Where you have your two little dimples in the back? Those are your SI joints. I've got it in the center of my sacrum. I'm going to take my arms out to the sides with my palms down, and I'm going to, first of all, see how it feels just still. If I feel okay, I'm going to maybe shift a little, side to side. So at every stage of this, we want to be paying attention, and if the body says, then we're going to back off, okay? So we don't want to force this. That's never a good idea, and you're not going to like that very much. I will say, too, that you never know how well this works till you get up and walk away when you're done, and your back feels fantastic, and you're like, what? That's amazing. So I highly recommend this. Now, what we can do is pick up our seat and scooch this. I'm scooching it over to my left, more under my left side, and I'm going to roll out my upper glutes which is awesome. And I'm like, oh, there's some tension in that hip. Here's what we can do. I'm going to take my left toes and I'm going to put them behind my right knee. My left knee is going to be used like a lever. If I open it out, I'm going to roll to the right and roll kind of more on the side of my hip. Then when I pick up my knee, I roll back to center. So you see, we are ironing out those upper glutes and the outside just above the hip joint. So hard to get in there. If y'all do a lot of squats like I do, oh my Lord, you know how tight it can get. So this is our best friend right here, if you can tolerate it. You want to check in, make sure you're able to breathe. Okay, so, okay, I can do it. I'm at the right level. Feels intense, but I can breathe. It's so important that exhalation is going to, just imagine you're exhaling out the tension that you're rolling out, okay? And I promise you, this does lasting good. So let's come back to the center. Let's take our foot out. Let's pick up our seat, roll to the other side. This is our chance to reverse. Of course, we always want to do the two sides. So maybe seeing from behind, you can see my left hip is actually pointing up. My pelvis is actually turned sideways. That's how far you can go. If that's too intense, you just do a smaller version of it. Okay? So we're ironing out. You know what? I'm talking to you normally, but this is really intense. So, okay, we got this. We're going to breathe. We're ironing out the hip. I know it's something I need, so I'm going to put up with it if I can. I know I'm not hurting myself, so I'm gonna put up with a little discomfort here. All right, so I'm gonna come back to center, and I'm gonna pick up my seat. When you come back down, it's like coming off your roller skates. It just feels great. You just give your back a chance to relax into the floor and just sort of regain equilibrium. Now, we can move this up. I want to give you a caveat. I really wouldn't put it right in the low back. That is such a delicate area for so many people. If you have a herniation or a nerve problem, you probably really don't want to do this. Go cautiously and put this ball far from wherever your nerve or hernia problem is. Herniated disc I'm talking about. Be very careful respecting any conditions of the spine that you have. If you don't have those conditions, if it's just muscle tightness, this ball is your friend. So I'm putting it now about bra strap level, right in between, in my center of my upper back. I'm going to lie back. If I need to support my head, I will. If I need to put a block or a blanket behind my head, maybe I do that too, if I need that lift to make it tolerable. And I just give myself a chance to open up the front body and let that rib cage lift. You can see maybe the wings of my rib cage lifting up, stretching my belly, opening up my chest. This is all good stuff. Our mid to upper back has a tendency to want to curve forward, especially if we do a lot of sitting at computers. So anything we can do to get going the other direction. Also, when you're working out, if you're working your lats a lot, if you're working your trapezius a lot, this area tends to be very tight up under the shoulder blades, which we're about to get into. Okay, now I'm going to support under my head. I'm going to scooch down. The ball's between my shoulder blades. Here comes the good part. I'm going to go forward and back. Forward and back. I'm ironing out such a problem zone. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It is really working. Okay, now if I want to scooch a little to the left and get that inner edge of that left shoulder blade, I can get up there. And if I want to go to the right, a little bit to the right, I can do the same. Okay, so that is a really good way to target some of that tightness that likes to hide. Especially as cold weather comes up, we start hunching our shoulders, we start gathering into a little ball against the weather. That gets so tight. So here we can resolve it. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you with this little ball is I'm going to put it right behind my head. I'm going to hold on to it. I want this ball, if you were to touch right behind your ears, there's kind of a knobby part of the skull, right at the base of your skull. We're rolling from one side of that knobby bone to the other. There are some little muscles right there. And if all we have to do is just drop our chin and turn our head, and if you want to support that ball to keep it from popping out, you can do so. I recommend you put your hair up. If your hair gets stuck under this ball as you're, for instance, rolling out between your shoulder blades, it is a pinch. It is a yank out of hair, and you don't want that. It really ruins the moment. Okay, so we're ironing out the back of the head. And this is good if you have a lot of tension headaches. This can help maybe head some of them off. Okay? So, and it really does, you don't have to do it forever. It really doesn't take much. Just some concentrated effort. Remember what I said about the reset? Let's come back down. Let's just take a breath or two. You may even have an endorphin release. I'm not even kidding. When you get into some, I don't know if you've ever had body work and they really got into something deep and you suddenly just felt this wave of like, whoosh, you know, just sort of well-being, almost like a little bit of a high. But this can bring it up too. Okay. If you wanted to bring your knees to chest, you could do so. Finally, I want to show you that one last thing with a soccer ball. So I'm just going to roll this baby over. This is just a little one. This is a size 3. This is what my 5-year-old plays with. But, you know, soccer balls go up to size 5s. So it doesn't really matter what size. Again, we're going to hit that bra strap level. And I'm going to support my head. And if I wanted to bring, I wish my blanket didn't have a bunch of balls on it. I'll take the risk. All right, I can bring this blanket over, fold it over, and give my head a little place to land. Right? If it's too intense, just drop your head back, and you know, you can come out of the back bend, arrange your height. Let me see if I can show you a higher height. Arrange your height to where it's comfortable, sustainable, and bearable for you. Okay? So here it is. This is our upper back. We can jimmy it downward so we get a little more of a rib cage lift if that's what you're after. We can put it more in the shoulder blade area if that's what you're after. Whatever a comfortable arm position is for you, you can even stretch your arms overhead. And this is a really nice way to open up the shoulders and armpits. Okay, so let's bring our arms back down. How do we come out of this? We can support our head, nice and easy. I could even roll to my side. Get that ball out from behind you. We'll come on back down. We've been doing some pretty deep work, you know, so you want to give your body a chance to recover. Just hug knees to chest. Go easy. Maybe even take a second or two, just lying in relaxation. Just to have a couple of calm breaths. I'm going to roll over to my side, which is a nice way to come out of that relaxation. Take your time coming up. And I want to thank y'all for joining me again. I hope you get something out of it. And if you do, let me know. I always like to know how these things are working for people. And anyway, I'll see you in a week, okay? Y'all take it easy.